Just let us know when you're ready to speak again.
It seems like the stream is back up. Alright, with mmttyy on the 99.88 and klobuck here holding 99.85, both players having really similar accuracy. The score lead is swinging around 400-ish difference. Is crazy.
Yeah, 1/3 of the map. This map is it's on the more shorter side, so it flies by very fast. Oh, is that a... No,
The
that's
score lead, it does seem to swing. Oh, it's back to mmttyy. Only a triple-digit score swinging back and forth. Only 0.01% difference, and it does swing back to klobuck. It seems like klobuck has the better ratio, even though with more 200s here.
No, I think MTY just started dropping a few 200s suddenly, and klobuck just maintaining that consistency. But he needs to hold on to this last PI section if he wants a chance here.
He's holding on to dear life. This score is so close. It's only around the 400 score difference. But if we move to the last quarter, we won't know what will happen. Any miss or any 200s can really decide the match, really.
Yeah, MTY dropping back down to 8-5, matching klobuck, but klobuck is slowly dropping down as well. They're both maintaining it at the moment.
This is so close. Oh my goodness. It really comes on the last part. Oh my goodness! 67 points!
MTY edging that out.
300!
2 V1 double S's from these two players. Absolutely insane. Yeah, and we get to see a sneak peek of their URs pretty much identical here.
This is insane. 300 difference.
Yeah, oh my goodness, that was literally the same. NTY just dropping some ratio towards the end, but held on just enough to steal that point.
Neither of them even dropped the 200. Maybe we just... I think I just missaw things, but holy crap, that was such a close match.
That was so close. Oh, klobuck.
Oh my goodness.
Feels so down right now, but there is still chances here. There's still the other two densities to take. Then you have the other one, I would say like wildcard tree, technical tree, try something more physically demanding.
I think one of the densities is banned. There's only one left. Oh no.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm blind. But then again, it's now MTY's pick and going for that technical. Oh my goodness.
Technical pick, the IIL song The Earth. It's gonna be a tough match since this song is very tricky considering polyrhythms is very hard to keep up the accuracy.
Yeah, that's true. And MTY technical elements is also one of his strongest suits, so very uphill battle for klobuck.
Oh, it seems like okay. Oh, klobuck, you're taking the lead though. Interesting. Even though it's MTY's big. Oh, never mind.
No.
Oh no, the commentator curse is real.
Yeah, they both have the ratios, they both have the consistency, but it's just so easy to randomly drop 200s on these kind of polyrhythmic shields to play.
Yeah, and with these, very hard to release LNs. Any 200s can really decide the match, but mmtty here seems to be having a bit less 200s than klobuck, but klobuck is still climbing, slowly climbing back to match mmttyy. Yeah, so close.
It's so close. Despite what we said about MTY earlier, this has been more closer than the initial picks of the match here. And come to the last quarter, holding on pretty
More
well.
players increasing, and now they're matching accuracies. Any 200s can really decide the match.
Klobuck just needs to hold on a bit longer. if
Oh
he
my
wants to
goodness!
steal this.
It seems like mmttyy has dropped to 200. This point
did
might
drop
just go to
100.
Klobuck.
It's not over yet.
Oh my god! 200 points!
Wow. 200 points, just barely.
Oh my
Yeah, Klobuck
goodness.
takes it out of pure ratio here. Despite getting one extra 200, just that ratio, just getting just enough with those rainbow 300s to seal the deal here.
Getting a point from mmttyy must be a bit, defeating for the mental, but, let's hope it doesn't burden mmttyy that much and hope to proceed next match normally. This ratio, just pure beatdown by a better ratio, even with one extra 200 is crazy. And we will be going to the Uma Musume song.
Yeah, density 3 really, I'll say it's like perfect pick for Klobuck. The density was pretty much identical. And now density 3 is pretty much like the more harder, faster side of the density pool.
Yeah, although a bit shorter, the speed does make up for it. And let's see, since this is Klobuck's more comfortable pick, we might see a good match here from Klobuck.
Yeah, Klobuck needed that break point. That definitely boosted his mental a bit. Here we go. This intro itself is pretty hard to get into, but once the density starts rolling in, you'll see these players climb in ratio and accuracy.
Oh no, though, Klobuck does drop a lot of 200s and mmttyy going over 99.8 at the start. But it's only the start, we don't know what will happen next, but it doesn't seem good for Klobuck right now.
Yeah, definitely not good for Klobuck. You see, you are a bit too spread out compared to MTY here. But MTY has slowly been dropping as well. If Klobuck, while Klobuck is rising in accuracy.
He needs to start gaining his accuracy on the chorus here, and he's hoping for mmtty for a drop so he can slowly climb back. The score lead is only around 1,000, so it's definitely possible for Klobuck to climb back.
Yeah, that's true. MTY these players are just so consistent. You will almost never see a miss from these people. It's just those accuracy, the 200 drops that decide everything here.
Yeah, in a tournament of such a high caliber, these players are definitely going to give you a good show. And right now they are giving us a good hard-fought battle. Only a 0.1% accuracy difference.
And just like that, we're already approaching the end of the song. If nothing happens, if MTY doesn't drop anything, this will be his point for the taking.
Oh my goodness, this is unfortunate for Klobuck. From his own pick as well, again.
These are crazy scores. Oh my
But
gosh, they have the
his
same ratio.
Oh my goodness! They do have the same ratio. It's just unfortunate for Klobuck to get those 5 200s.
Yeah. Insane V1 double S by MTY and Klobuck just getting those unfortunate random 200s throughout the map, pretty much sealing the deal here. And that'll be another break point. And it's already a match point for MTY.
This is not looking good for Klobuck. He needs a mistake coming from mmttyy here, so he can climb back his scores. But it doesn't seem like any of the. He could go for another coordination.
He's definitely going coordination treat. Yeah, there we go.
Of course. Oh my goodness. Klobuck needs to have an insane performance on this map pick right here to climb back.
For me, it's a very, I would say it's like very, in any other tournament, Phony will be like mid-game map pool. It's insanely hard to be consistent, very easy to drop 200s.
Yeah, we are just... Klobuck is hoping he can be really consistent with his combo, and he's hoping for some mistakes or anything that can bring him back. It's currently 4-1 right now.
Yeah, starting off pretty much equal. These accuracies will change very quickly, very soon. In a full 3 minutes of map to go, anything can happen here.
Yeah, this song being 3 minutes, it's all about consistency and holding on to that combo and having the stamina to maintain that accuracy throughout the entire 3 minutes. It's a test for both players here.
The mental, it's more so of the mental stamina rather than the physical stamina. Trying to release all these different length LNs perfectly.
And the score is so close with only a 0.01% accuracy difference.
It's flickering again. We can't have this, man.
It can't be this close. It can't be this close.
After this, we'll be going to the key eye. Here we go, being a bit more fast, a bit more technical.
Both players still holding on to the accuracy. klobuck will be dropping 0.01%, but he is climbing back. mmttyy is holding his accuracy perfectly.
So perfectly. klobuck doing extremely well compared to the other coordination, but MTY is just really sharp shooting these ones, and careful of those shields, those mini jab, very easy to choke.
klobuck is really hoping for those mistakes from mmttyy here. Or anything, any 200s really to swing the score back to klobuck.
Yeah, even a rush of 300s will be enough to swing this back. It's just that minuscule and that close. And we're only halfway.
It's only halfway. It's only halfway, and they're matching accuracy again.
So close. Even though it's a slower part, there's literally no time to rest.
Oh no, klobuck dropping a couple 200s.
But it's still very close. 0.03%, people. That's so minuscule, but that's the difference.
I'm literally on the edge of my seat right now. It's only an 800 score lead. Anything could happen. And mmttyy dropping like 200s could swing it back to klobuck for the win. But klobuck is he just dropped 0.01%. This is not looking good, but he needs to get back his accuracy. He needs to get back his accuracy on the last KI.
But unfortunately for him, he does seem to be dropping a little bit. Losing some of that mental stamina, unfortunately.
Can't give up now. You got this. You can't give up now. There's still hope. It's only a 0.05% difference.
Yeah, it's still such a small difference, but MTY does seem like he will close this out.
Unfortunate for klobuck. Both having really insane scores, but it's the grades that set the difference. Oh my goodness.
Okay. MTY taking this point with a V1 double S on Phony and taking the match. Okay, whoa, my goodness, I can't speak. klobuck doing very good. I will say this will beat like half the competition easily. But MTY's coordination skill is just pretty much top level right now.
He's in his top form. Anyone who faces him next match, you have to look out. He's doing insane, having a lot of 995 scores on some of these maps.
Yeah, these two players, I mean, both having immense tournament experience, doing very well these past 2-3 years. But MTY just proving that he's the better early game player here.
Yeah, let's hope klobuck can do even better on the losers bracket, because he is also having insane consistency right now. It's with only like the unfortunate miss from the first map.
Yeah, people just don't miss here. It's just all act games.
They're just that good, man. With such a high caliber tournament, every single the round of 34 the round of 62 players, they're all such high caliber LN players. Like a lot of them are even in MWC.
Yeah, that's true. But well, that'll be it for this match. I'm not sure if they're transitioning to any other match.
There will be a match in around 3 minutes if I'm not wrong. So
that is true.
Yeah, so I guess we can wait until that match happens. Thank you everyone for watching this match. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have like a very tiny break, literally 2 minutes, and I will be swapping out with a different commentator. So have fun, you guys.
Alright, see you, Leon. Thank you everyone for watching.
Yeah, stay tuned for the next matches.
Are we muted?
I don't think we are. I'll wait for the... Hello everyone, welcome back to another match right after the match just now, the intense match. And now we're going to Seed 32 versus Seed 33, Bagjettka versus riftoyu. I'm joined with epicman2 right now. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, hello, hello. Hello is so good, I had to say it 4 times for extra measure. Anyways, yeah, I'm doing good. Just came back from getting a little bit of a haircut and a shave for my beard as well. And now we get to proceed to one of the last few matches that we got of the Round 64 weekend as we slowly approach the ending and we are slowly approaching that beloved round of 32 map pool showcase that I believe some people are waiting for. So both these players, bagjettka and riftoyu, as we said, Going to be really, really close to seeding. This is exactly dead center in terms of our seedings, and both these players are very, very balanced. So I feel like this match is going to be very, very cool to watch, honestly.
Yeah, very exciting to see how close this match will be, and that bagjettka is going to go for an instant prod and ban right now, and it doesn't seem like riftoyu. Oh, actually, yeah, they both have gone through their prod and ban already, so yeah.
Yeah, so Density Free going to be getting the ban, and actually no. Oh wait, yeah, Density Free and it seems like Coordination Free are going to be getting the ban hammers for this one as well. Although we can see that Bagjetka does want to see a Coordination 2 banned, but I don't know if it's a little too late for that to change minds. But I mean, honestly, like it definitely makes sense to see at least one ban for one of the Coordination maps, knowing that both these players in the qualifiers they got like really, really close scores over in that release qualifier stage. So. Definitely makes all the more sense, although I would have been expecting it to be in the advantage of Bagjetka here.
Maybe they have a trick up their sleeves for each of them, but we'll never know until the match starts. And yeah, they're trying to go toe-to-toe here. Like again, very close seedings.
Yeah, gonna be really cool watch, honestly. So I think that said, we can move out of that pick and ban phase, so now we can move on to the rest of the match, in which it seems like the introductory pick that riftoyu is going to voluntarily pick out is going to be none other than wildcard free here. So definitely a bit of a safe, interesting pick, I'd say.
Yeah, I would agree with you. It could be just testing the water to see who's just better and in what map, what patterns, so they can pick their safe picks to, you know, go on top on each other. Wait, that sounds so wrong. My apologies. My apologies.
Bro!
I meant be on top in the match.
I mean, I think the match itself has a way for that moment, so I don't know. It's okay.
My apologies, please. Alright, Hoshu Marine has the first pick.
I mean, she's kind of fine, I can't lie, so makes all the more sense.
Okay. Alright, seems like riftoyu wanted to pick a Stepmania Impossible Pack song, but well, that's not part of the rules, so we'll be going into the first song.
It sucks that we don't have Ellen Impossible Pack in this, but maybe we will see at least some Impossible Ellens like literally later into the tournament. But for now, we can't jump the gun. We gotta stick to our guns with the first wildcard pick of this round, which it'll be a little density oriented above anything, with some tech influence, some of these release skill as well. So far, it seems like Bagjetka seems to have the upper hand in terms of accuracy, but it doesn't really mean anything. Going into this middle section, going into the first burst, we have the score flickering between each other, going to be stuck in the middle. None of these players have a very objective advantage yet, so it's going to take at least a few misjudgments from one of the players to be able to at least get the score on their side for a bit.
Yeah, with riftoyu not really holding well with the releases, but still the scores being so close, Bagjetka being a bit more comfortable with the releasings, and both players seem to have similar amounts of 200s. It's just the releases that's throwing people off for this song.
Yeah, and I definitely feel that this is the gimmick that has been tugging at a lot of other people's scores in general, from like some very unfortunate chokes that we have seen just going into that very ending of the map and so on. But so far, it seems like both these players are still doing their best to at least combo for a lot of the map. We still see some combo decreases and some accuracy adjustments on both players' sides, not going to really allow any super massive change to happen going into this more swung-driven part, but that's a lot more shield-oriented, but who knows, maybe it could happen during this back of the shot or so.
Yeah, riftoyu here actually climbing and Bagjetka dropping a little bit, making their scores even closer to each other, with only around a 400 score difference between both of them. And yeah, it's going to be a 1/3 section here, so it seems it's just going to be who drops their 200s first.
Yeah, in which both these players definitely do not want it to happen on a section like this, because going into this break session, it can really allow for the scoreline to just decrease. And so far, it seems like we haven't seen any chokes begrudgingly being thrown out during that shield section. So both these players still in with such a good, steady position right now. They are at least going through into the final core, still basically anyone's game. So I feel like at one point it's gonna have to at least go into the side of someone. But so far we just see the scoreline being a lot more biased into the side of Bagjettka right now, about a few hundred points, but also varying between various other hundreds as well. So very, very variable position that Bagjettka is in right now. Just pray that he doesn't find a misjudgment going into this ending, because if it does happen, then that is gonna be disastrous.
Yeah, I think this all comes down to the ending to see who chokes on it, but if no one chokes, it should just go to Bagjettka here. With only a 0.02% lead, this would be a very close match.
Okay, hang on. This is the ending. Watch those releases, and it is going to be 809 points of a differential in the side of Bagjettka, and even then, the scoreline is really close. It's just the ratio and the additional grit on the side of riftoyu that really brings the difference in. But even then, that's still dangerously close for a first map. Holy damn.
Yeah, this is really close. Yeah, the match exceeding C32 versus C33. I was not expecting to be this close. 800 score difference on the first pick of the match. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but I think this pick alone definitely sends the signal to Bagjettka that riftoyu is definitely a player not to be messed with. And especially then, it seems like Coordination 1's going to be getting the next pick immediately, going to not waste any time. Bagjetka's going to be throwing out their Protect right away, the reserved order on his side.
Yeah, I think he wants to close this match out quick, since now he knows that riftoyu's releases aren't really as strong as his own, even though he's already very strong for C33 and C32.
Yeah, exactly, and especially with this map being vastly different to Wildcard 3 as we have seen, this one is a lot more easy in the sense that it's a lot slower as a song in nature. The only difference is that it focuses a lot more on release technicality, and that is the main difficulty component incorporated within that map alone. So definitely kind of an interesting map to switch things up. We did have a bit of a fast-paced map earlier on with a lot of shields. This one is going to not be as much about the technicality. It's just more about the precision that it takes to release the notes on the perfect moment, really.
Yeah, with such a such a huge BPM difference, slower song, we don't know if Bagjettka would be better on slower songs or like maintain his accuracy, but riftoyu might switch things up a bit and start playing really well. And it seems like Bagjettka doesn't know that their match is being streamed right now.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's... Well, I don't know. Okay, there we go. There's the stream announcement. I think we just forgot to advertise it. That's it. But it's okay. No worries.
It's back to back. I'm sure people will just stay and watch.
I mean, that is what we would be hoping for, but who knows? There are some people that wouldn't be doing it, but turns out we kind of swapped over to the match a little late. We didn't know the match started until just now, but it seems like so far both players are just about a quarter of the way through. We still see that Dr. Mario Pill on the top of the board, still switching. No score of advantage to be seen to anyone yet, and multi.
Multi, okay. Right. The score is really close right now with only a 0.05% difference. Any 200s or any slurs of 300s could really change the entire game. But right now, both players seem to be really comfortable with the first half as we're slowly creeping out into the second half.
I feel you, Patu. It really is difficult these days, especially with like this tournament, which is just so long. But that aside, that is going to be the scoreline not changing for anyone, really. The scoreline is still remaining the same, even after the one first course that we see where it at least utilizes some of these 1-6 releases. But so far, it's just still anyone's game going into the next third of the map, in which some difference is going to have to be made Bagyetka's gonna have to at least try and shift the tides going into Painted Dreams. Otherwise, this gonna be a bit of a dangerous one. riftoyu already lost on that breakpoint to Bagjetka, and Bagjetka does not want to return the favor to riftoyu. He wants to be able to at least selfishly take it for himself, to be able to try and end the match as soon as possible.
Yeah, both players trying their damnedest to just getting the lead here, but it doesn't seem like riftoyu is holding it that well. He's hoping for a mistake on Bagjetka, or he's hoping for a miracle for himself, but it could be anyone's game. The score lead is only around 1,000. It's definitely possible, but it seems like it's going to through the end.
Yeah, and a few misjudgments from the side of riftoyu to end it off. That is going to set the two even further, and Bagjetka gonna be winning out with a V1 double S and only 125 perfects to spare. Very, very clean score right there. riftoyu not too shabby either, only just the 50 or so perfects in difference, and then the free grades. So I can definitely see as to why these types of maps are honestly probably a little more dangerous for riftoyu. I feel like in general it's probably a little better to maybe opt in for some of the more technical maps, because we did see from the density map that it was, or at least the wildcard map, that it was a lot closer in general throughout the whole course. So especially with that coordination free ban, that definitely leaves out only one other option remaining for Reimei. But even then, I feel like Bagjetka does not want to go into that one ASAP, basically.
Yeah, he's trying to end the game quick before riftoyu can find any weaknesses from him. But even though both players having more than 10-to-1 ratios on the map just now is very insane. And they're so, oh my goodness, for only seed 32 and 33, and their ratios are already quite top level.
Yeah, I mean, especially for a tournament like this, I guess it is just the name of the game that every player is just going to have to be expected to have some of these really top level scores in general, because that's just the name of the game here. Just competence is what everyone is expecting going into this one, and it's definitely no exception going to tech maps like thermodynamics, for example.
Yeah, we'll be going straight into a geometry test on thermodynamics from riftoyu's pick. He might want to catch Bagjetka's off guard. He might want to look for a miss from Bagjetka in this map here, since it's such a techy, dumpy map in general.
Yeah, both these players jumping base after base. As we can see, it's now time to see going into Tech 3. riftoyu still has yet to catch at least one of the few points that they're going to be needing going into this match, because they are basically dead center in the seedings, like I did mention at the start. So riftoyu needs to at least ensure that they can at least snag one or a few points to be able to ensure that the scoreline, or at least the point differential, is not that far apart. They want to be able to see the gap between themselves and Bagjetka here. So it's definitely going to be a bit of a tough one going to this map, which features a lot of these really dense patterns. And so far we could see Bagjetka getting some advantage off of those, just going off of some slight misjudges and slight mishaps. But Bagjetka is going to be taking the first drop. That is going to be the first ever miss that we've seen in this whole match at all, and that is a very dirty one as well. 5,000 points in the side of riftoyu, bringing them to the forefront of the focuses.
Yeah, dropping 0.3% is not what you want to see on a map like this, since it's really hard to game with these very speedy staircase patterns. And yeah, riftoyu is just going to be taking a very comfortable lead, although Bagjetka is slowly climbing back up with the accuracy. He needs a miss from riftoyu to even climb back the lead, but it doesn't seem like it's happening right now with riftoyu being so consistent.
Yeah, absolutely. If anything, riftoyu is going to have to try and maintain consistency and the full combo to be able to ensure that the lead does not go back into the clutches of Bagjetka here, especially when it comes to recovery game, which is important if you do find a miss anywhere, especially during some of the harder sections of the map, going into this columnar section where you just have to challenge the discomfort of the releases here. Thank you, the Funk, for making some of these releases difficult. But going into this slower section, you have a little more of these density-oriented jump stream patterns with some shields incorporated before we go into the next course. This is the final third that we've got of the map, so riftoyu is going to have to at least try their best to FC And so far, their consistency has been looking really good throughout this whole match altogether. So it definitely has to be completed to be able to at least look for that first point here.
Yeah, bagjettka is slowly climbing back the accuracies after the miss, and now the accuracies is so close. He's only hoping for riftoyu to miss or get a lot of 200s here for the lead to slide back to him. But right now, it doesn't seem like it will happen. riftoyu with his very insane consistency as we're going to the last chorus, and it seems like it's going straight to the last part of the map. And the final chorus, the break, oh my goodness, it's so close. It's just 0.05% difference.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, I feel like here riftoyu is more than able to bleed a few misjudgments, as we have seen just earlier on. And going into the final few flams, that is going to shut the book on that door, really, for riftoyu to be able to get that first point. And even better yet than never, it is also a very good point to get off of. A very good response from riftoyu to the previous pick, which was Coordination 1.
Yeah, now that riftoyu knows that, but bagjettka might miss on some of these tag maps. He might go for more of these in the later songs, with the later picks, and with matching ratios as well. Holy, this is an insanely close song.
The only difference here is just the choke from bagjettka, and that alone should set the precedent that a lot of these maps are going to be hard as nails to be able to get through without at least having to expect some sort of choke from the opposite player. But now bagjettka be choosing out Reimei, it is going to be the last of the coordination maps available. So that is options running out for bagjettka to start off with, as we can see.
Yeah, he's really trying to get all these easy points off riftoyu first and then decide later, but he might go for any wild cuts later since he got a breakpoint from riftoyu's pick just now. So we'll see what happened.
Yeah, especially then, I feel like this is going to be looking pretty dangerous for bagjettka, knowing that despite having the luxury of any other pick, riftoyu has as much of an edge when it comes to a lot of the other maps as well, having basically not only a lot of these safer picks available, especially in that density field, but also basically half or at least 2/3 of the technical and wildcard slots available on the board. So I feel like for riftoyu, it would definitely make all the more sense for them to counter this pick with something like maybe Cat Chase after, considering that is probably the close to thermodynamics, with at least without having to maintain conventionality in terms of a song, since that is a lot more jazz-oriented. But obviously, I can't really jump the gun here. We gotta go through this map first before we can really get into, the soy sauce of the rest of the map, really.
Yeah, riftoyu here hoping to get a point even though it's bagjetka's pick. He's really hoping to even out the points and then decide from there. But he will be taking an early miss. He's gonna drop below 99. This is not looking good.
Yeah, that is a dirty drop right there. But thankfully, it is at the beginning, so hopefully not too much damage is going to be done going into this part. This is just past the first quarter, but again, this map is only about 2 minutes in length. So if anything, riftoyu is going to have to at least recover very, very well and hope for some misses from the side of bagjettka as well, who is at least trying their best to go for a lot of these patterns, but also kind of eking out some yellow 300s as well on some of these release-oriented patterns.
Yeah, that early miss doesn't really look good for riftoyu, but he is slowly climbing back the accuracy with only 7,000 score difference. He's really trying his best to just climb back up and hoping bagjettka to miss so they can even out the score here. But it doesn't. As we move into the second half of the map, everything seems to be just okay, and there's still room for improvement for riftoyu.
Indeed, and especially going into this more 1-2 release-oriented section, there's still so much of the map left to exhaust. There's definitely a lot of room for either of these players to slip up on their tracks once again. riftoyu needs to be able to maintain the combo as best as possible to at least bring the game back into their favor, especially going into this next course where there's going to be a lot more of these short releases and some of these really, and a lot of these pairings which really challenge your discomfort for these kinds of releases as well. That's going to be one of the most important things to look out for going into Raymay in general. And so far, both of these players have been eking their way through, traversing the sands of what this map entails very, very well. Just that there is this final solo that they got to go through for the next 6 of the map, which incorporates a lot of these other pairings that may be unexpected as well. Just keep going through them, and hopefully everything should be in the favor of Bagjettka here, being able to tie it in for their midway point of the match.
Yeah, riftoyu was really hoping for the drop on the 1-6 patterns, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna happen. riftoyu with even climbing back really good scores and better ratio than Bagjettka as well, but that miss really seals the deal for him, and the point will go to Bagjettka.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of the goods as well. I feel like even if it wasn't for the misjudgments probably arguably would have made this a lot more difficult to be able to just rope back into their side, into their field of the battlefield, really. And I feel like now, with this one out the way, Bagjettka is halfway through with the whole match, especially winning off of one breakpoint from one of riftoyu's personal picks. So now gonna have to probably pick into one of the more unorthodox maps once again. I feel it would make all the more sense to pick into Tech 1 because Tech 3 had gone very well, and that is going. And yeah, it turns out I was a bit close. It's gonna be Tech 2 instead.
Yeah, but Tech 2 being more polyrhythm, but the releases aren't as hard as Cat Chase Tech 1 here, but we will see. Maybe he's more comfortable with polyrhythms, and it seems like Bagjettka has run out of safe picks, I would assume, since he's been getting his points on the 2 coordinations and the breakpoint from riftoyu's own pick.
Yeah, indeed. And that is going to have to be something that is very important. This is definitely one of the most important maps for riftoyu right now. They want to be able to even out the entire game as is. They do not want Bagjettka to get out of the match relatively unscathed. So I feel like now with all the options that are left available, there's only really one map left for Bagjettka to reach match points. So riftoyu definitely wants to be able to combat that with as many of these picks as possible, and I think saving Tech 1 for later might be one of the better options as well, even though realistically there's only really just a few picks left on both these players' sides.
Yeah, both players slowly running out of their comfortable picks, riftoyu having only technical 1 left to pick for him, and now we'll be moving into this polyrhythmic map pick for both players.
Another adaptation of what we have been seeing throughout a lot of these matches, especially in the tournament so far. There's been a lot of these really balanced matches in general, so definitely so far it's looking very good for both these players. Bagjettka definitely in with a glimmer of hope now, having the upper hand, being 2 points ahead of the curve, but especially here, it's only going to get a bit harder now that we have run out of some of the more conventional maps, and the only conventional picks that are left on the board is solely just at some of the density maps overall. So this map definitely going to have to at least be someone's treasure, at least. Like, sure, this could be the trash for one player, but if anything, this can be someone else's treasure, really. So I feel like that in general is going to have to at least come into play for this round in general. And we can definitely see it with some of these really odd pairs, some of these dense shields and polyrhythms that we can see that are kind of stuck on one hand, but riftoyu seems to at least be a bit behind. It's really just down to some misjudgments to be able to shift the lead onto one side.
But it seems unfortunately he'll be dropping like 1 or 2 200s here, and he's really hoping for Bagjettka to drop a bit more 200s and maybe even a miss for the score to slide over to him. But right now both players seems to be really consistent in their combo and accuracy, hoping for any one of them to make a mistake so they can secure the point.
Absolutely, and holy damn, I am tired. We are going into the next course. We still got a lot of map left, just the final core to be able to bleed through, and so far so good. Both these players still maintaining the best scores that they can. I believe another misjudgment might have come out of the side of riftoyu, but even then, time is running out for this map. You just got the final few Ellen Graces of the map, and if all goes well, I think Bagjettka has basically just got this one in the bag. basically securing match point now.
Holy, we know that it's riftoyu's safe pick because look at his score. He has a 993k. Like any normal person would think, oh, this could be my safe pick here. I could beat the other player, but it's just bagjettka coming out on top with a 995k, 99.87%. It's just a bit unexpected for riftoyu to take this.
Yeah, it is definitely really too close to call, really. And especially the fact that both these players have only been winning by mere thousands of points going off of one or a few mistakes here. It's really just the nerve game that really applies here. That really comes down as effective as CPR here for either of these players here. And even then, like now, bagjettka has the luxury of having the potential final pick of the whole round, being able to at least potentially end the map early or the match overall early, in which there's quite a bunch of maps left to go. I doubt that bagjettka would willingly go into something like Tech 1, but I feel like maybe something like Wildcard 1 or Density 1 would probably be in his best of wishes, really. Maybe. I don't know. I can't read people's minds.
Yeah, I don't think bagjettka wants to pick Tech 1 since he knows that riftoyu is really good in Tech 3 and he has a couple of mistakes on Tech 3 as well when facing riftoyu. So he might, like you said, he might pick Wildcard 1 or maybe even pick Density. But then again, both players being so close in seeding, I would assume that their physicality would be around the same. So Density could be anyone's game. It's all up to RNG. I think so. So yeah.
Wait. Oh no. I think he's gonna be picking Wildcard 2. What are you doing?
Oh god, okay.
Also, yes.
This interesting pick. Interesting pick here. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, he hasn't...
Interesting is a bit of an understatement for a pick. I'm sorry.
He hasn't played the map yet. What?
I mean,
huh? Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I guess we'll see what he can bring to the table with a sight read score. It appears that he doesn't know what the map, what is inside the map.
I mean, riftoyu is basically touching on it right now. It has schlongs and he also uses Percy, so maybe it's a little difficult, but at the same time, it has some of the shortest LNs that this whole map pool in general has seen. So I don't know if using something like Percy Skin would really help out anyone here, unfortunately.
Yeah, very interesting pick from bagjettka considering he's never even touched the map. But this point might go to riftoyu since he has the upper hand of playing the map before. But okay, very rough start for riftoyu with a couple 200s. Bagjettka holding a slight lead. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, maybe this could have been a bit of a good option then. It's just really down to at least ensuring that I feel like here, going off of the mistakes and eating off of what riftoyu had accidentally had happened to them. Sorry, I just had to excuse myself. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Bagjettka does have the luxury of at least trying to act some of these short releases as best as possible, because I feel that these are the type of patterns that can catch out riftoyu by a very big margin, and that is definitely something that can be taken into consideration when using this and putting this into perspective in the meta game here.
Yeah, with the accuracy being so close, if bagjettka makes a mistake here, which he might since he's never touched the map before, the point might go to riftoyu, but riftoyu is finding a hard time themselves trying to hold on to the accuracy, dropping below 99.7, but they're both still holding on to a full combo, so anything can happen. Any 200s from bagjetka's side might switch the point lead over to riftoyu here.
Yeah, and which is gonna have to happen at least at some point during the map, because we still see riftoyu taking some unfortunate chokes here and there, even while they are not misses. Even some of these minuscule misjudgments matter a lot here, whether it's like just yellow 300s or even worse, grades. And that alone is just only going to objectify the score line on the side of Bagjettka for the time being, as we can see going into this next section where it's going to feature the song being shown in a bit of a more math rock fashion, basically.
Yeah, like you said, with all these rockish patterns and awkward releases and shields and these grace patterns, any 300s and 200s could be a huge mistake, like you just said. And Bagjettka though seems to be climbing a bit, and riftoyu climbing back with his own accuracy. The score is still really close to each other. Any any mistake can just change the entire course of the game. But we will see as we move into this final section.
Absolutely, and now it's time for both these players to decide who's going to be winning, and riftoyu taking even more chokes after that as well. Not even just scratching the surface of being able to miss, not going to avoid that, just being shy of some of those really unfortunate misses right now. It's really just down to the final releases, but that is going to be it. 200 points in the advantage of bagjettka, and that is going to shut the door of opportunity in the face of riftoyu, going to knock them down into that losers bracket, unfortunately taking this match by storm with a 5-1 victory.
Yeah, he really hit the nail in the coffin there. Bagjettka really comfortable with these maps, even though with such a interesting map pick, they're both still really close in scores considering their seedings. Oh my goodness, it's such an interesting match to watch. riftoyu just unfortunately missing out on his own picks right here, letting Bagjettka take those scores. And yeah, that will be this match.
Indeed, and I think with that basically concludes this match. And now with both these players going to be facing, I bet some of their matches next week are going to look a little more scary than usual, especially for the side of bagjettka, because of the fact that advancing into the winners bracket, they're going to have to face against none other than the likes of Neptune, which is, I wouldn't even wish that on anyone going into a tournament like this. Like, holy damn, how do you even put up against this, bro? Like,
dude,
that's just crazy.
I would not wish that on my worst enemies. Like, you're fighting against someone who has an average accuracy of 99.9 in the qualifier maps. Like, how are you even gonna beat that?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe bagjettka has something interesting up his sleeve that he probably didn't touch on during this whole match. So definitely could see a bit of it next week, but even then, for the side of riftoyu, you're going to be facing against the likes of Uran, the bottom-seeded qualified player in this tournament. I guess we can call it off here. We still got quite a bunch of matches left, in which there's only really about...
But right now, Rei and Nickname's match are still going on, so if you want to, you can switch over to that stream maybe, if you are still interested in watching these matches. But for now, this match will be over. Congratulations for bagjettka, and very good scores for both players, honestly. They're both having such close score differences. Yeah, and that will be the match for today.
Indeed. So yeah, Ivan, do you have anything else you'd like to say before we close the match off, if anything?
Yeah, everyone have a good night. That's all I can say. It's already 11 PM here, so...
Honestly, fair enough. I guess I could just say the same thing as well. I'm a little tired, even though it's only, just 4 PM for me at the moment. But that aside, we hope you all look forward to the last few matches that we got for this round 64 weekend, and we hope to catch you all later. This has been mmttyy2, joined by Ivan Official, and we will be signing off. Have a great day, everyone.
See you guys.